every young man that goes through his program comes out so much better for having done it. Our sport is a lot simpler than football, thank goodness. But one thing that we do, like Coach Wiener, is we set every year a theme for our year. And this year our theme was Dream It, Plan It, Do It. And Travis's dream started right here. You can see this picture. I don't know, Coach Puckett, if you can hit a couple lights and we can see it better. But this picture, I wanted to kind of show you some pictures of our sport. Most of you, I'm guessing, have never seen a cross-country meet. Maybe you've seen a track meet. This is actually a track meet right here. And this is where Travis's dream started last spring. This is at the University of South Florida in March. And it was at this race that he came within 1 second of breaking one of our school's records, which is the 3,200 meter record. Our school record is 9 minutes and 39 seconds, and he finished this race in 9 minutes and 40 seconds. As soon as he did that, he got on the map of several coaches around the country, but not the ones that he wanted. When we sat in the spring to do the Dream It part of the Dream It, Plan It, Do It, okay, Travis informed me that his dream was to run for a Division I ACC school. Specifically, he said, I'm really interested in Clemson. And the problem is that this time, as great as it is, it's a school record and everything else, the ACC, as you know, is one of the most competitive conferences in all sports, and that number just didn't make it happen there, okay? And so when we sat in the summertime, we said, how are we going to get the scholarship, how are we going to get him the place that he wants at Clemson University? This track season was over, and the track times that coaches are looking for, he wouldn't be able to do until next March and next April, after they've already given out all these letters of intent and scholarships. So our plan was to do this. Our plan was to run the times necessary by proxy, to pick out the runners who had already done it, to pick out the runners who were being recruited by Florida State, who were being recruited by Duke, who were being recruited by Clemson, and beat them. And that's exactly what Travis did. During the season, it was the first thing he had to do was exercise a lot of trust and patience. He had to trust his coaches, he had to trust his teammates, he had to trust the plan. Our plan was to wait until the very end. College coaches really don't care what you do at the beginning of the season. They care where you finish at the end of the season. It's just like a race. Nobody who cares who was leading after a lap, but everybody remembers who was leading at the end of the race. And during the year, you see Travis is holding his watch in his hand. He's running next to his teammate, Curtis, our number 2 runner, who's also hopefully going to be signing in the near future. And he's looking at me right now. And he's begging for me to let him go, to cut him loose. These two guys right now are in first and second place in our district championship. All right, and we put on such a dominating performance. Our team went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and these two guys are sitting there. And Travis is chomping at the bit. And the reason he is because the week prior in our county championship, he busted out. I finally cut him loose. I finally gave him license to just go after it. This is the time that we planned for. This is the time we dreamt about in the summertime. And at the county meet, this is Lake Park up in Lutz. And at the county meet, he finished second to a name that some of you may have heard about, Max Del Monte. He's our county's number 1 runner. He was honored as our number 1 runner, and he signed a scholarship to Florida State University, which, if you don't follow cross country, is a perennial top 10 cross country and track school. And in this race, Max beat Travis by a mere 3 seconds. And Travis ran an incredibly spectacular time that really started to get the ball rolling. So in the following week, when I held him back one more time at the district race, he was chomping at the bit. This is our state championship, all right? We hold our state championship in Dade City at a beautiful location called the Little Everglades Ranch. And in this race, just like Danielle, Travis was slotted to finish about 10th or 11th based on all of his previous times. But in front of him, he knew the name of every single young man that was ranked in front of him, because those are the ones that we wrote down at the beginning of the year. These are the guys being recruited by Florida State, by Duke, by the other ACC schools. And at the beginning of the race, he was right there, right where he was predicted to be. As the race went on, he moved up from 10th to 6th to 5th. In this particular photo, he's passing the runner who's in 3rd place, a runner who defeated him in the state championship last year. He catches him, passes him, and in this photo, there's 2 things I want you to look at. On the clock above Travis is our new Plant High School school record, 15 minutes and 42 seconds.
All right, Trev.
And I'm not done yet. Okay. On that billboard board right there are two names, Arroyo and Godwin. Two of the premier names, two names that every Division I college in America has been seeking to get those two guys. And what did Travis do? The week after this, he goes to Charlotte, North Carolina. He defeats the name at the top of that list, Arroyo, our state champion, and betters his time by 10 more seconds. 15 minutes and 32 seconds. That's when Clemson called. So I say all that to honor Travis, to tell you the story of his season, to introduce you a little bit to a sport you probably know very little about, okay? But I also want to say unequivocally that there has never been a better distance runner at Plain High School overall than Travis Christenberry. And moreover, I have, in my many years of coaching, have not coached a better young man than Travis Christenberry.
All right, Trav!
Travis Christenberry, and I played at Clemson, and